luxury consumption. The way it will be affecting investment this year will be mostly driven by what is going on in China, as it has been a major market for a lot of Western luxury brands. And then we still probably have to think of the competition in the luxury sector, as it will only grow bigger, as there are many entrants and there are existing brands as well from Europe internationally. And then what's going on in China, as it has been a major market for a lot of Western luxury brands. And then we still probably have to think of the competition, and we should probably think of luxury consumption as probably relatively more resilient than other sectors, so that it should be still a good bet in terms of investment, despite the volatility on the money markets, because it does represent value, so that there will be still growth. We should still expect luxury consumption to grow very well, given that it is intimately connected to status, given that a lot of in the cultural sector is actually related to luxury. One can only think about the recent series, The White Lotus, and how it essentially showcases luxury resorts internationally, this time in the third season in Thailand, and this will keep luxury in the eye of the consumers for the months to come. Once again, in China there will be a retrenchment, because we do understand that the trade barriers will affect a lot the prices, as they have already been, so that the elite in China will still be doing international travel and getting the same brands more cheaply in Europe or the US, so that one can still assume that those who would want to acquire a luxury bag or luxury outfit, they will still be able to do that. And then we can also think about the regionalization of luxury consumption in Asia, so that I would say Hong Kong, Singapore, even places like Malaysia, Indonesia will be attracting both brands and local wealthy individuals who will be essentially traveling to these places. And then we should think about Europe and the US as two major markets for a lot of luxury products. And I would say the outlook is mixed. Once again, mostly because they appeal to a smaller segment of the population, and in that segment I wouldn't expect a lot of changes in terms of the level of demand, because once again, in spite of all the movements on the financial markets, those who will be doing regular purchases of, let's say, bags or other items or jewelry would still be doing that. And I would say that the price of gold will be driving some of the jewelry buying, such as in India, such as in China, such as internationally, so that let's say a lot of jewelry made of gold is going to be very good purchase, especially this year. And then one should think as well of the symbolic value. In other words, luxury is less about economic decisions and more about the symbolic value, sign value, and what it means for the individual, so that in that sector the established brands and even let's say up-and-coming brands are going to be doing really well on the market, so that we can still see a lot of value. Maybe there will be some volatile moments in the price of stock of these companies, or maybe in valuations, but as opposed maybe to the tech sector, I would expect the luxury brand sector to be doing relatively well in this period, as I would say, as art, as maybe other sectors who wouldn't be necessarily be perceived as going to be doing relatively well in this period, as I would say, as art, as maybe other sectors who wouldn't be necessarily be perceived as counter-cyclical. I would definitely expect this to be doing rather well in the current atmosphere. Once again, one way or another, those who do acquire luxury are very international class, highly educated, and they will be willing to move their money, their asset in this period across borders. And I think that luxury consumption can be very portable in terms of, let's say, if you want to move your money easily from the country and access to countrywide. I would say art can be included in the luxury consumption sector, and one should not forget taxation benefits for the art purchases under some circumstances, and that we should not forget as well free ports for art, and also tax haven countries or areas, zones, jurisdictions that will be offering very likely special conditions for maybe gold, for maybe art, for maybe high-end collectible products, so that even though there is a lot of volatile events politically, internationally, economically, I would say that the sector of luxury consumption is going to be doing really well, really resisting the headwinds, and of course we should not forget that a lot of luxury brand companies are rethinking their offer, are reacting to what is going on internationally, and they're trying to stay on the cutting edge in their sectors, to make sure that they actually deliver that value and that their brands retain that appeal that makes them very in demand, etc., etc., and that will be likely true of the really old brands, such as maybe wine brands, such as other brands in the, say, very high-end sectors of respective markets, that are already luxuries by dint of being on the market for, say, 100 years plus, etc., or being that expensive. Let's put it that way. And I think that especially if one expects that the prices will be going up, let's say immediately or in the middle term, it means that a lot of buyers are going to be buying right now. So that I would say that luxury sector is going to be maybe net actually benefiter of the trends in a surprising way.